Hey, what's going on, guys? MiniQ77B here. Welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Thunder 2000. It's episode number 95, Lightning McQueen Kirchu, or whatever you want to call it for this one. We head to New Hampshire, where obviously it's not one of our good tracks, but we did have a great span of the last 3 races, I would say. We take a look at the point standings right now, and we're now 112 ahead of Ricky Rudd. The title is not all but certain yet either. We still got quite a bit of races left to go. We also have some problem child races, including here, Dover, Rockingham, I believe is also a problem. For some reason, I love Rockingham, but I don't know why it's been a problem child. And of course, Atlanta. That's the big one. So what's in store for the car today? Well, this is the chassis that we're gonna be using. We're gonna use our 82 one rather than our 83 one, because I'm saving the good stuff for the home track. Yeah. As for this, we're still got 2 more races and, of course, 1 more race for the overhaul and build, respectively. So we got that taken care of as well. So we're using an older engine, but that's okay. Not building another chassis right now. I don't want to go do that yet. As for the R&D, the drafting is going to come within 5 races. A strategic thing where we can actually try to build a special chassis just for the Atlanta race, and gives us a little bit more closer to work with anyway with the suck up. So I can play around with the gear ratio a little bit there. So that's all there is to it for this pre-race stuff. Let's just head to the track, shall we? I once again had to go to a default setup for qualifying, of course, for 1 lap, just to try to prevent ourselves from getting too much of a pole, if anything, because the setup we have is actually probably the best New Hampshire car I've had yet. It's still really bad. Oh my god, this default setup is horrible. What the heck? As you can tell, the default setups are usually pretty bad. They're more towards the tight side, just to give the player some flexibility, even with stability being off anyway. Oh. Turn! Can you turn? Turn! There we go. Oh my goodness. We're qualifying 13th out of all that, despite our efforts. Wow, this is why we don't have whatchamacallits. And what is... Oh, wow. Buckshot Jones on the pole with John Andretti. Nice pole position by Buckshot. So now we're going to go back to our other car setup here. Go to New Hampshire. And let's begin with the race today.
Welcome to the New Hampshire International Speedway in Loudon for today's NASCAR Winston Cup race, the New Hampshire 300. Barney, the fans are packed in and ready for the action. What do you think about this track?
They did run a restrictor plate here for a couple of races because of the concern about the accelerators getting stuck open going into these flat corners. They no longer need those plates with the addition of the engine kill switch to all the cars. The switch is on the steering wheel and allows the drivers to quickly shut the engine off if they're going into the corner too hard.
The 56 car is showing the importance of consistency this year.
Man, he is amazing. And what a boost towards the championship that gives him. You don't even need that many wins if you're finishing in the top 10 every week.
Jimmy Johnson, who's currently in the top 10 in points, will try to reach that next step, the top 5.
He's been working hard this season, and it is paying off so far. He'll need a good finish in this one to gain some spots.
The 93 car will start this race a little farther back than he's used to.
You're right, it's going to be tough for him. You get so used to starting up front, and then you have an off week and you have to start towards the back. Then when race day comes, you feel like you passed 1,000 cars at the end. And worse yet, sometimes you never make it to the front.
That's an awesome name, though, by the way. Buckshot Jones. Like, that's a name, Buckshot. That's a really cool first name. Jimmy Johnson. The 28 of Ricky Rudd is starting ahead of us, which is not exactly the most ideal situation in the world, but we're going to be able to get through some of these guys as we're underway. We're actually going to be able to try to pass them under the first lap here. I'm going to try to do it because, this acceleration that we have and lack of black flags the game will give you for passing before the start-finish line on the inside. As you can see, it's kind of futile already. We've got Labonte ready to pass us on the outside as well. Oh, boy. Oy, oy, oy. Here we go. 3 wide already between championship contenders and Bobby Labonte, who was, I think, at one point the championship leader, but he had a bit of a rough stretch in the middle of the season, as we're now back to 10th place in the race here. Mark Martin is now your new leader, having a little bit of a shoo. Oh, that could have been much more disastrous. I just gave Bobby Labonte a bit of a nudge there. We're trying to hold on to 7th place here as long as we can. Is there some violence behind me? Oh, poor Jimmy's gonna get sent all the way to the back. Oh boy, there's some carnage behind us. I hear the little crunching sounds that are up there. That's pretty much messed up a few drivers. I think that might have messed up Ricky Rudd a little bit as well. Rudd probably did not get the beneficiary of that. I think he was stuck on that outside line, so that's going to slow him down just a little bit. Rick Mass is in front of us, and my Outlook notification for some reason is going off. I keep forgetting to close that. That's why you hear the little ding that's right there. Good old Outlook. Ooh, a little bit of contact between us and Rusty Wallace right then and there. Still trying to hold on to 6th place. We got around Rick Mass pretty easily, of course. Now, of course, we all know this is not going to be an easy race for us. The race here today is actually going to be all about damage limitation, especially when you see that 28 car sporting that Davey Allison throwback. I really like that paint scheme in this game. I'm glad the mod creator put that in there. I don't know if he ran that paint scheme in real life. Oh, we get a bit of a nudge between title contenders. Title contenders going at it. Ricky Rudd knows the situation is so dire at this point in the championship. He just boots me out of the way like I was nothing. Oh my goodness. A little bit feisty there from the Rooster. He got a little early wake-up call by a Rooster, probably. Oh, wow. I was expecting somewhat like that, but not so much like that. As we're falling, we're fading away. Even so, this is why I said this race today is all about damage control. Our car is still not good enough. Even with all the chassis upgrades that we have gotten, it is still not good enough. It doesn't matter, it seems like. Rookie difficulty on this track is very easy, but legend difficulty, it's very hard in this game. Whether it be like Thunder 03 or Thunder 2000, it's really the same. It's the same base game, just different skin, as a reminder, of course. Oh boy, I sent it in there a little bit too hard, trying to keep up with our teammate Joe. Our other teammate Kenny is also back here too. It's about time he showed up, honest to goodness. It's about time. Where have you been these last few races, buddy? Where have you been? Especially all the short tracks, he's horrible at it, which is funny because his brother Rusty is so damn good at it. Matt Kenseth has a lot of damage as we come down on Jeff Bird. We check damage for our own. As you can see, we're definitely bleeding a lot. We are bleeding and not in love, but definitely bleeding positions one way or another. We got Jimmy Johnson, who's trying to make himself a bit more known in the Winston Cup Series. He is definitely well known now, but he has a lot of damage already on him. Look at his car. He's damaged all over. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe a little bit of a scuff up there, but man, he's damaged all the way in the back and the side, yet he's still outrunning me. That just goes to show that we're still far a ways off from where we need to be. Oh, I just did the most rookiest of mistakes ever and just lost maybe 4 or 5 spots right then and there. We're gonna bully Bill a little bit here, trying to get that spot away back, and we do, thankfully. But we almost got instant karma just from that alone. We keep getting our back bumper really getting punched in there. We have to check for damage every now and then because I feel like it's just getting worse and worse. Thankfully, it hasn't hit yellow yet, but my goodness, we're already struggling so much with this car. Definitely for sure, it's just very tight still. But usually in my experience at New Hampshire, the car gets looser as the run goes on. That's the thing I'm worried about. I want to see if it maybe happens here. This is a brand new setup, so I don't know if it's going to get loose as of lap 30. When I do my test races, I only do around here 15 laps or so just to see where we're at. I like my crew chief's enthusiasm telling me I'm flying out there, even though I'm falling like a rock. I want to check where Ricky Rudd is real quick here first, see where he's at. So he's not in the top 5 yet. Where is Ricky Rudd actually? He's in the top 10. He's in 6. Oh boy. Yeah, this is why I said this is probably going to be a very important race. Dover's also a very important race too. We're going to have to hope for maybe another caution or so during a pit cycle to help us out a little bit. So I know my fuel tank just hit half empty right then and there. So it's about 22 laps, about 23 laps, 22 and a half laps of half a fuel tank there. We're probably on theory and paper, we should be able to last 44 laps. I don't even know what the strategy is going to be. Definitely for one, I kind of want to consider just waiting this out until a caution comes out during the pit cycle. Mainly because it kind of, I think it happened during the last New Hampshire race where a caution just kind of came out and just helped us out quite a bit. And funnily enough, it was Ricky Rudd that ended up blowing up and helped us out getting back into towards the fight of the point lead. But now this could potentially take us out of the points contention right then and there with this one race. Yeah, I'm saying that now as a 112-point lead, but you have to consider the hard tracks that are up on the schedule. Of course, I keep mentioning the dreaded Atlanta because we keep struggling in Atlanta. Of course, our tires are finally starting to wear out a little bit. The car's starting to rotate a little bit more. As I said before, usually it gets looser. That's why I kind of like had it up towards the tighter side. You can see my lap time. They're still about the same, 28.3s at this point. But it's still very, very tight in some areas as I had to stop completely dead right in front of Steve Bark. We're still battling side by side. Like most of the time, we just can't get away from each other like in some of these races. Not as recently, though, but I guess you can see the glad the little rivalry is back, I suppose. Yeah, especially since if people are going to pit early, they could have a chance of hitting the pit wall. That's the thing about this track. For some reason, the AI tend to hit the pit barrels quite often. So we're going to try to rely on that and see if we can get ourselves a couple spots up in there and we get fresh tires. So that way we don't fall a lap down during the pit cycle. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's why that's why it's a risk. Everything's a risk. And if we do pit long, we have fresh tires to try to reel in some of the gap of the field here. I mean, we're kind of holding our own with everybody else, except for like Steve Park, who I'm just holding up. But in terms of like everybody else, though, we're holding up. I think we're also gaining a little bit on Elliott Sadler a little bit. So not all of it is terrible with this car. I mean, it's the best New Hampshire car I've ever had. So. I mean, it's kind of sad. That 14th place last time was kind of a bit of a fluke, to tell you, if you really want to be honest. Oh, the yellow is out. Well, somebody's hit the pit barrel. That's Bill Elliott. I figured someone was going to hit the pit barrel at some point, but I really didn't want it to be that early. I didn't want it to be that early. I don't even know if he was trying to come down pit road. Maybe he was? Yeah, he was. And then bam. That was too early. Now we all have to come on in. I'm gonna have to come on in. I really don't want to pull any interesting tactics or heel tactics, quote unquote, if you catch my drift, to bring out another caution. Yeah, it's a pretty unanimous decision, obviously. Let's bring this down a little bit, because I wasn't getting enough turn off as I thought I would. That's the only adjustment we're going to get. I'm afraid of making it too loose with -2.5. All right, let's see if we can gain some spots here. That was too early. That was literally the first car coming down pit road. That was too early. I was really hoping it wouldn't be so early. All right, good stop there. We're actually gained oh my God, we gained a lot of spots. We gained 10 spots out of that. Very good stuff there, as we actually got down to the correct gear this time, and we're back underway here at New Hampshire. That was a fantastic jump. We gained 10 spots out of that. 10 spots. And now, of course, I made the car to try to rotate a little bit more. But of course, now we're at that point in the game where, or at a point in the race where the AI will always do better in the second half rather than the first, as Tony Sturgis immediately just makes mincemeat of us. Oh, we made a little bit of contact there. I thought I was clear. I guess I wasn't there. Yeah, they're already hounding on me. Why are you hounding on me, Johnny? Johnny! I know you want to say, I know Johnny's there. Here's Johnny. There he is. You don't need to make a horror movie out of that situation. Please, Johnny. You're my boy, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. As we just keep overshooting our corner because we're rattled. Good save there between me trying to come down on Dale Archer. We have to go back to doing this again. I mean, these lap times aren't exactly the most accurate thing in the world. We're trying to get ourselves back into a rhythm here because we are not exactly where we need to be. We check for damage. The left side has actually been hit quite a bit. So I guess there's a little bit of drag there now. Because we're trying to hold on to what we got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not, or something. I think that's how the song goes. I don't even know. Oh, brother. Coming to about 30 laps to go. The car is feeling pretty good, but we're going to get destroyed by Ward Burton if we were not careful. I had to get out of the way, and unfortunately for Scott Pruitt, he was just an innocent bystander. His woeful season. I mean, if you had a win at a Watkins Glen, like legit win, I mean, what did you call it? Still call it a woeful season? No, you're nowhere near close to like second to last in points. Is it still a woeful season? I'm pretty sure it still is. I mean, he's going to be a one-hit wonder, it looks like there, as Jimmy Johnson's right front, I think it looks like the right front of his car looks to be mangled a little bit there. I see something hanging off there. I don't think it's going to bring out a caution, like a debris caution or whatnot. So I think unfortunately for my luck, it's not exactly great to see. We're down to 17th. And I'm kind of hoping for another caution. I would like for it to come out at some point. But if it were to come out like a debris caution or something like that, because of all the people who keep fighting against each other, you know, that would be great. That would be great to try to do the same thing as we did before, where we just clawed through the field and we actually managed to get like a 14th place finish or whatever. I mean, it's all about damage limitation this episode. Of course, we're trying to hang on to a top 20, maybe top 25 position, because you can see Ricky Rudd's in 4th. It's all Fords in the top 4, with Rusty leading the way. Oh, more contact between ourselves and Mike Skinner. He would just sail it in there, trying to get around me there. But I guess when I thought it was clear, I guess it wasn't. The left front is having to just barely nick his right rear, just to get him to stay behind me like that. Almost making him lose control. Johnson is still behind me. He's gonna probably pile it into give me an ass pack or two. Maybe I can get that right front to come off and bring out a caution, but nah, not gonna happen. Looks like there. So he's gonna get around me as well as Bobby Labonte. So that's 2 spots lost there. So we're almost about 20 laps to go here in this race. We are now at a point where we're going to be absolutely struggling from here on out. I'm especially worried about the rear tires since I made the car a lot looser too. I know I didn't get as much bite off the corner as I did with the negative 1.5 wedge. Negative 2 is going to obviously make it looser, but I just got steamrolled on that one. I know I'm holding up everybody and just doing stuff like this, but my gosh. No, I'm not fast, crew chief. Stop lying to yourself. Oh, a spin in turn 1. Oh, the luck is in the air tonight, it looks like, for us. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna try to let Terry Labonte go by. Please go by, Scary Terry. We're gonna go down and take tires. Let's go. What caused the spin? I need to know what caused the spin. It was Bobby, you're a legend. Oh my God, Dollenbach's going for a ride. I think Bobby... I don't know. Did Bobby take him out? From that angle, it kind of looked like Bobby took Dollenbach out. We are getting 4 Dr. Feelgoods, and we are going to like it. It doesn't matter how far we're back. We're putting on some 4 fresh good ones. I might even lower the pressure just by like 1, just to have a little bit more offensive setup here. We're going to go with the more offensive stuff there. You saw me set the tire pressure down to 19. And we're going to start pretty much in the back. But we're going to have a little bit of we're going to have a good tire advantage. Actually, a really good tire advantage. And there's plenty of time left. So we can actually utilize that new tires to great effect here. This caution could not have come out at a better time. Now, we're back in 40th place, which is not exactly the greatest news in the world, but we're going to shift down to 2nd gear, grab a gear, and then just get right back at it here. We're going to do very illegal maneuvers here down on the inside, like we always do. And now it's all about just picking them off 1 at a time. Try not to damage the car along the way up there. It's always a risk when I do this sort of thing. Wow, this thing grips with 19 PSI tire pressure. Wow, this thing grips. I just gripped it and ripped it through that entire corner. Just perfectly fine there. Bobby Hillin Jr. is also here today. He's in the 13, not Robbie Gordon. And then Buckshot. He was on pole, but he's all the way back there now. We take a look at who's leading. Oh, this is not exactly what I want to see. Robert Yates 1-2, but the wrong Robert Yates car is leading the way. Robert has got to tell Jarrett to let the 28 go to lead a lap to gain points on me. He has to. I would, if I was Robert Yates. Let the 28 lead a lap, and then you can just get the lead back. And then you can just pull away from there. Do whatever you want to do. Just let the 28 lead a lap so he gets 5 points, please. and we're already up to 28 within two laps here. Obviously, the damage a little bit on our car is a little bit affecting our car a little bit in terms of like lap time anyway, but we're still gripping it no problem here through the 3/4 compared to the rest of the AI. We're already up to 26. We're already back to where we were, where we was. So, especially with plenty of time left to go, we can steal potentially maybe a top, well, definitely top 20, but maybe a top 15 is not in the card. It's on the cards either as well. We have plenty of time left to go, so we're back to making sub 28-second lap times. Oh my God, this is more than a top 20. This is more than a top 15. It looks like here, because there's Jimmy and there's Bobby as well, Labani that is. Yeah, we're still 5 seconds back. We're obviously still not even close to the fastest car, but we're definitely top 10 might be on the card. Literally, that caution could not have come at a more perfect time for us. Literally, it did not come at a more perfect time. We're able to fluke our way to another grid finish here in New Hampshire. We're gonna fluke another way to another top 10 most likely here if we can get our car to get up there. Which, yeah, definitely 15. I don't know about 10. We're gonna try to hope and see as we go dive down the inside with John Andretti, who actually led some laps today. I've actually looked at the scoreboard off cam, and he was able to lead 5 laps, but unfortunately for him, he's back down here again. And yeah, let's go catch ourselves at top 10. Yeah, top 10 is definitely on the cards here as we're going to try to go down the inside of Matt Kenseth. Ooh, lost the back end just a little bit. They were able to keep it together and just going to power through past the 17 car. Top 10 is definitely on the cards. I can't tell who's leading the race now at this point, but we're actually gaining on the leader lap time-wise. As I said before, the caution came out at the most perfect time. We're gonna somehow snipe away a top 10 out of this. Like one of the more like difficult tracks. We're gonna fluke our way yet again to a good finish. Yeah. So thank you, Dallenbach, for saving my season. Thanks, Dallenbach, for saving my season a little bit there. So I'll have to send Wally and maybe Bobby I always send Bobby a Christmas card. I always send Hamilton a Christmas card. But Dallenbach for sure for saving my season. Because the AI don't come down pit road to take tires and all that stuff. Like I wish the more modern NASCAR game, like when NASCAR 25 comes out, as we're gonna go 3 wide for the top 10 spot here for a brief moment. I wish the AI would have better pit strategy. Like I would mean as in like, you know, caution were to come out with like 20 laps to go on like a 2x tire wear or something like that. Oh, somebody's blown up ahead as well. I wish I could just come out and just... Some people would come in, some people wouldn't, just to see how the strategy was, and... No way. No. No way. Guys? It happened again. You can't make this stuff up. You literally cannot make this stuff up. Oh, that kind of just solidifies it, but where's Earnhardt? Earnhardt's going to be the number 2 spot now in the championship. And Rudd didn't lead any laps either. He was probably, you know, I see the gap there. No, he was... How does this keep happening? Like, this is the second time now Rudd has blown up in New Hampshire. And we got away with murder again. This is like the worst thing that could have happened to Ricky Rudd. Literally the worst possible thing. With 5 laps to go, I'm potentially trying to steal a top 5 out of this. And Rudd's blown up with 5 laps to go. I was down for the count for losing the point lead. And now... the game has thrown us a bone again. I do practice races, but I don't do the whole 75 laps. I do like maybe like up to like 20 laps just to get a feel of the car, because as I keep telling you, for some reason in this game, practice times don't matter. Like you can actually get a little bit faster times in practice than during the race. In practice with this setup, I was able to get a 27.4 easily, no problem. But as you can see, the fastest lap I was able to get is 27.5, but yet the fall-off feels a little bit different on the race than the, whatchamacallit. But no, this is all one take. This was one take. So, It's just crazy how it ended up like this. Just, wow. White flag is out. Whoever's the leader is just absolutely long gone. I don't think we're going to steal away a top 5, unfortunately. But literally, this is just fine. I know Earnhardt is in 2nd. Johnny Benson's 3rd, though. I'm okay with this. Jeff Gordon 4th and Rusty 5th. Ourselves 6th. We could try to steal a top 5, but I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to go bother to try to send it in there. We're just gonna take our 6th place and go home. I mean, we fluked both New Hampshire races, I want to mind you. We fluked. This was a fluke. 6th place, by God. But holy crap, literally all the planets aligned.
The yellow didn't wave as much as usual.
Well, you're right, but that just makes for a better race, in my opinion. It really makes the better drivers stand out that much more.
The 56 car got a top 10 finish in this one.
Top 10s are sometimes just as hard to get as a win. That whole team did a great job.
Thanks for joining us. For Barney Hall and the rest of us here at EA Sports at MRN, we'll see you next time.
So it was Dale Jarrett who gets a win number 4 of the season. What a turnaround it's been for Dale Jarrett in terms of the last few seasons anyway. But once again, the wrong Robert Yates car won. And the right Robert Yates car ended up DNFing again at New Hampshire. That is honestly the worst thing that could have happened to Ricky Rudd. That is very, very, very unfortunate. Dover's up next, but I'm not sure how the car will be. We could hopefully make it something right, because usually we don't get as much of a good finish as that we hope at Dover. But I'm thinking this one will be different. With our new engine and, of course, the new chassis that are in, we'll do fine. I think we'll do fine there. But Dale Jarrett, man, what a season it's been for him. He'll certainly move up the points now. I have no words. This does not look good for me as a content creator. Wow. We literally fluked both New Hampshire races. Somehow, some way, a magical caution just appears out of nowhere and helps us out. Again, with the tire stuff. Dale Jarrett wins. The wrong Robert Yates car wins. Rusty actually managed to lead the most laps of the race, despite finishing in 5th. Earnhardt comes in 2nd, but with no point laps led. So he will gain a little bit on us, but Ricky Rudd is essentially done. That might have just ended his championship hopes there. Johnny Benson 3rd, Jeff Gordon 4th, Rusty Wallace 5th. I mean, we already seen the top 10 already, so I don't even need to show you that. So we're going to show you the rest of the field here. Yeah, John Andretti did end up leading 5 laps here, but that's just about it. As where did I mean, you literally, he didn't lead a lap either, so Rudd is essentially screwed. What a heartbreak. An absolute heartbreaker. We'll take a look at the points now. We are a full race ahead. This is exactly where I wanted to be going into Atlanta, not going into Dover, so we can actually play around a little bit. But there's no sleep for the week either, and there's no sleep till Brooklyn either, but we still have about 8 races left to go. We are now a full race ahead of everybody now with our 10 wins. My God. 18 top 10s and 16 top 5s. Just, like, absolutely wow. And literally, that's the worst thing that could have happened to Ricky Rudd. Blowing up at the end of the race. Meanwhile, your competitor was struggling all day, gets a timely caution, gets 4 fresh tires on, and is salvaged a finish he can get. That is not good news for the Rooster Nation. Anyway, if you liked the episode, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I mean, what can I say about this episode? Literally, I got a lucky rabbit. What can I tell you about that? We literally everything that could have went right exactly went right. Like, we didn't win the race, and honestly, I'm not expecting to. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time at Dover. My God, man, like, let's move on to Dover, and I'll see you guys next time.